Hello. This is Neville Gallimore from the Dallas Cowboys, and I want to give a major shout out to Mike Tag. Keep bringing the hype to the Cowboys Nation. We love and appreciate it. Now, can you dig it? Let's get it.
Hey, I told you guys! Don't go burying just one yet! All I've heard for the last 5 weeks is we want Dallas! So all you haters, you come down for me! You fuel the fire! Because I want it! Are you ready? Hey, you dig it!
What is up, Cowboys Nation? Your boy Mike Tag. I'm in the mini cave. Of course, we got Jimmy D. He's in I don't know. He's probably in Vegas. It looks like. I think that's what he said. So we're definitely going to touch base with him and see what's going on out in Sin City. But before we get rolling, make sure you guys hit that subscribe, hit the like if you're not subscribed already. Hit that like button. Spread the word, man. We got a lot of love going on here, and we got a ton to talk about. So I don't even know where to begin. But first, let's check in with Jimmy D. Jimmy D, you're out in Vegas. I'm sure maybe Uncle Cheech has been hiding around somewhere. What you been up to?
I was trying to find Uncle Cheech in the sports book the other day. I didn't have any luck, and I know he's got plenty of security and plenty of people to throw people off the beaten path, so we can't find him. But now I'm out here for a little pleasure, a little business. Very happy, as you guys know. Last week I left off angry about my Falcons. Well, we didn't lose yesterday because we had a bye week. My Knicks are 4 in a row. My Rangers are 3 in a row. Aaron Judge was re-signed. I'm a happy camper. I do want to bring up one other thing. Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I would just say you're a happy camper. I thought Cowboys Nation, we'd be much happier coming out of Sunday, but had a little bit of a scare. Maybe some people saw the writing on the wall. I posted. I got the Good Luck Cowboys Cup. I didn't think I was going to need it on Sunday. Thanks God, I set it up next to the cave in my chair, watching the game. Started off fast. Everything felt good. We'll get into it. Then we had a little mishap. And then, boy, oh boy, we went on a roller coaster ride.
Yeah, I watched that. I tell you what, I was down in the sportsbook watching most of that, and it was a lot of unhappy Cowboys fans. And you can see the look of you're a little bit concerned. But I did want to say real quick, and before we get into the meat of things, we mentioned a couple times on the show, and I have, not being a Cowboys fan, going out to Jerry's World out at AT&T is an experience. So whether you're a Cowboys fan or not, and even if you're going to see teams that you don't have any emotional attachment to, then you need to go to Dallas and see a game there. But if you're an NHL fan, NBA, I've been to a lot of NHL and NBA arenas. We went to T-Mobile to a Vegas Knights game last night, and that is an experience for an arena type atmosphere. It was like a nonstop party. It was fun. And if anybody's out in Vegas, hit up T-Mobile. What a fun place.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm not a huge Vegas guy, I'll admit. I went there for my anniversary. Not a huge fan, not a big gambler. Just, I only take Uncle Cheech's advice. I'd leave it at that. But hey, talking about this game, we'll get into it. But, my man Jose, he's been hard on me. But I echo this point. The last 4 minutes, he said, last 4 minutes proved to me this team is a Super Bowl caliber team. And I think that's something, if you're going to take something away from this game, they should have blown them out. No excuse. Maybe came in flat, maybe played a little vanilla, whatever you want to call it. We've got some slow starts. That's really, my big concern. But when it mattered most, man, that defense, that goal line stand was something to see. And Tank Lawrence and the rest of the boys, that was just an unbelievable stop of the goal line because, let's just, call it for what it is. They go in there for that score. It's game over.
Yes.
We're talking about, people jumping off the bridge and stuff in Cowboys Nation. But they're still doing that even though we won. But I echo that point. And, you need those gritty kind of games. And what bothers me, and again, I make no excuses for it, what bothers me a little bit about it is you get, the Chiefs get beat by the Colts. The Colts and Eagles are in a dogfight, and it took the Eagles that last minute drive, and they were touted as, oh, how resilient, all this and that, and everything that they say about Dallas is, oh, I got lucky and escaped this and did that, and you're gonna have these games, and if you really look at the Cowboys, I don't throw the Green Bay game in because I think to a man, anyone who's a Cowboys fan knew in their heart of hearts probably not going to win that game because I don't know what it is with Rodgers. I don't. That's why I'm so happy we won't see him in the playoffs. But I think we all kind of had that feeling. So if you look at the schedule, this is really the only game that was just, take obviously Philly where they lost, but this is the only game that they should have blown a team out and it got scary. Most of the other games, they handled those teams pretty well. So I'm not overly concerned. What I say is let's see what happens this Sunday. Your boy's going to be in Jacksonville. I'm going to be making sure things go right. So we got no worries about that. So that's what I want to see is how do they respond?
Yeah, but again, I've talked about this several weeks where they got to clean up that first half, man. You don't want to be digging yourself a hole every week because that just is not going to work, especially moving into the playoffs.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. They got to clean it up. The slow starts with Dak is it's a concern. And I don't want to say it's a concern as far, but it's just it's too much. I've seen it this year. I've seen it a little bit last year. It just seems to be a continual issue for whatever reason. I don't know if it's play calling. I don't know if it's Dak. I don't know if it's I don't know what it is. But it has been just a trend that needs to stop. And we talk about when you're going against some of these playoff teams that they're going to be facing. You don't have time for that. And that's what they ran into in San Francisco. Or in Dallas against San Francisco. We got off to a slow start. Then they started waking it up, and too little, too late. They gotta be a little bit more consistent in the beginning because you can even look back at the Colts game. I mean, it was a 2-point game going into the fourth quarter, and all hell broke loose. And they steamrolled them. So it is something they need to figure out, and hopefully they do it real fast in the next 2 games because I'm going to be there.
And keep in mind, I mean, you're on the opposite end of the spectrum as us. I mean, we're going down to the wire and losing all these games, right? Yeah. I mean, theoretically, we should be 4 games higher than we are. I mean, at least you guys are taking care of your business when you have to. But again, you got to clean that up before the playoffs come around.
Yeah. And Jose, they did start slow. They started out great with a great drive, turnover, and then they did zero the rest of the half and had turnovers. So they did start off slow. Now, turnovers have a lot to do with it. You have that fumble, you get a pick. That's what I mean by starting slow is they put themselves in bad positions. To your point, they score, they hold them. Turpin doesn't fumble. I think they smoke them, but it just didn't work out that way. And they got to find a way to be a little bit more resilient in the first half. And it's fine. Like I said, they've done very well in the season. This boy's not complaining. 10-3, back-to-back double-digit wins. I don't know if that's happened, probably since the 90s teams. I don't remember us getting back-to-back double-digit wins. So, again, hats off to the players, Mike McCarthy and the staff. I think they're going to be fine. I think this is one of those games when you look back at the season and the end of the season, this could be, what they used to have the turning point. I don't know if they do that on NBC anymore, but they always have that turning point highlight. And this could be one of those turning points where, again, they get put in this situation. A 98-yard drive. I mean, Dak had a 98-yard drive. That ain't easy. I don't care who you're playing, where you're playing, any of that. 98-yard drive is not an easy thing to do with the game on the line. You have zero room for error, and he definitely turned it up. The only, obviously, concern that we have, big concern, is Steele. ACL out for the year. They put in Ball. He was terrible. They put in Peters, and thank God they put him in at the last drive. And that's another thing. Thank you for the coaching staff because we've been there, done that. And the old coaching staff would have been in there. We'd been getting Ball would have been getting his ass whooped the whole game. They would have made no changes. So I think Tyron Smith coming back in the nick of time. Tyler Smith getting the work that he's got in. Peters, if he can hold down right tackle, if they can make that work for him. I know he's always played left tackle, but he's a veteran. I don't think there's no doubt that he'll be able to get it done, but they don't have any more room for injuries. Our injuries have got to stop now. I mean, we've got Hankins that's out, defensive tackle. They said he may be able to get back in before before the end of the year, maybe in the playoffs. So that's fine. We can definitely hold it down. You got Washington back for a receiver. He made his debut. They signed T.Y. Hilton. I don't know if you saw that. Just get
Yeah.
another veteran receiver in there. So it's maybe hopefully get the Arsenal back, but we can't lose no more.
Well, now the question is, so you got T.Y. Hilton, the Odell Beckham saga continues. What are your thoughts on that?
Odell's done. That saga's done. He came out and he said that he wasn't going to play this year. It seemed like there was no point for him to play. He might come in the playoffs, and we don't have time. I mean, you just don't have time for that. And really, if you look at it, you know, he's not going to make or break our Super Bowl run. It would be nice. You have another weapon. So you get T.Y. Hilton. T.Y. Hilton's not going to be the reason we won the Super Bowl. He's not going to be the reason we lost the Super Bowl. He's just another piece because, like my man, Jose always likes to remind me is Tolbert is booty. And I mean, he hadn't played. I mean, you get a guy in the third round, you draft a guy, that high in the draft, you expect to get some contribution, and he hasn't. Some players just have a difficult time going to that next level, and unfortunately for him, he's had a pretty bad transition period. So I think T.Y. Hilton is gonna bring just that veteran presence, but again, he's not gonna. I'm not expecting him to go all out and get crazy.
Hey, veteran leadership, and at the end of the day, and we talked about this over the last couple of weeks. I wasn't sold on Odell Beckham. I mean, I think that he's coming in with a lot of baggage. He's between some of the social media stuff he's put out and just carrying on, dragging out this contract process.
Yeah.
I think you're better off without him.
Yeah, and I saw my man Doug. He said ball sucks. I mean, we know I don't even know how he's still on a team. I got to be straight with you guys. I don't know if you guys, hopefully maybe you feel the same, or I'm missing some. If I'm missing something, let me know. But this guy, I mean, he's been terrible every time he's been in there, and I hate to dog one of my own, but got to call it like I see it. When he got in there, it just, if you look at it, the fumble, that was his guy. Interception that hit Dak's hand, that caused the interception. The pressure there, that was his guy. So, like I said, I give hats off to the Cowboys for recognizing the problem, fixing it for the last drive, because if he was in the last drive, it wouldn't happen. And I guess Doug is going to make the trek to Jacksonville. It was kind of up in the air, some issues.
Right.
So everything hopefully is working out time-wise to where we can get Doug out there. And I know I've got messages from a lot of Cowboys fans that they're going to be out in Jacksonville. So hopefully we're going to take this stadium over. Weather's supposed to be beautiful. It's supposed to be in the upper 50s, low 60s. So it's going to be perfect weather in Florida with that sun shining. All I need to do is make sure Cowboys don't take this team lightly. They played a pretty damn good game, against the Titans. Trevor Lawrence looked good. I think he threw 3 touchdowns, ran for another one. So they have better be prepared, and they need to make a statement before I head out to Dallas to see them take on the Eagles on Christmas Eve.
I'll tell you, speaking of the sun shining down in Florida, Horseface, I mean, he looked pretty good yesterday. And in contrast, and I know, we'll get on this topic later, Miami and Tua, I don't know what's going on with them the last couple of weeks, but not good.
No, I fell asleep. Appreciate all the comments and everyone jumping in, man. It's awesome. But I fell asleep, so I missed the end of the game. It wasn't a great game. I bet NBC is like, man, we flexed out the Broncos. That turned out to be a pretty good game, and then we end up with the Dolphins and Chargers. Which, I mean, I get it. I would have done the same. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting with Miami. They go to Buffalo this week. Not an easy task. They do not do very well up in Buffalo. So you're starting to see some of this playoff kind of stuff, work itself out. We'll definitely get into it. But Miami's a concern. San Francisco, this is the team I've been saying. They absolutely destroyed Tampa. I mean, beat them so bad in the own market. I mean, I think that happened when I forgot what game we were in, Bears or one of those games where they took the game off. They took the game off and put another game on because the beating was so bad they had to save the embarrassment. So San Francisco is going to be a team to watch. I saw Debo got hurt. I thought it was going to be much worse, but they said high ankle sprain, something like that. So he might be able to return, but high ankle sprain for a receiver is not a great injury to have. It's typically a pretty long timetable to get back.
Yeah, but I'm looking at this Brock Purdy. I mean, he goes in last week in a close game against Miami, whoops their ass, and then turns around yesterday. And like you said, that was that was a disaster. That was throwing in the towel against Tampa Bay yesterday, which I'm fine with because they did our dirty work to help us out in the NFC South.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And we touched on that one. The other one I got to touch on, I don't know. I hate to say it. Miami game Saturday night. I'll be watching it from Jacksonville. Yeah, I'm gonna have to find a spot. I don't know where I'll be. I'm staying with some friends, so I don't even know where they live in conjunction to the stadium. So hopefully we can link up because I'd love to see that game. But it breaks my heart to say this. Very hard for me to do. Anyone who knows me, being a Cowboys fan, this is gonna be the hardest thing I ever had to say. But damn, them Eagles are looking good. I still think we're gonna beat them, but I was expecting them to stumble in these at least once in these last couple of weeks, and I just don't think, man, they're good, and I don't see them losing another game outside of us. So I just don't know if we're going to catch them. So your boy, I always got to have a backup plan. I went ahead, friend of mine, season ticket holder for the Bucks, had to confirm and purchase some tickets to the game just in case my Cowboys end up in Tampa. So I got my playoff tickets confirmed as long as Tampa, holds up their end of the bargain. But we'll talk about that. But depending on what Philly does, I don't know if we're going to be able to catch them.
No, and Jalen Hurts again. I wasn't sold on him earlier in the season, but man, he's looked really good the last 3 weeks. You can't deny, and I hate to say it because I can't stand Philadelphia as much as anybody else here. And I just see them all Friday night. They were all here in Vegas, and so yeah, I'm not. It sucks, but we got to admit, and we tell the truth here on this show.
Yeah, no, and I don't know. I got to put this on as my man Jose. I don't know if you saw it, the Blue Oyster. I don't know how many people will know what he's talking about. I know what you're talking about, bro.
Yep.
We're in that same generation, so
the music's going through my head right now from that the Blue Oyster.
The music just gets going.
Yeah.
So, not scared of the Eagles. I don't want to catch them. Looking at, I wanted to bring this up. So, looking at the playoff picture, Jimmy, and the crew, you're looking at it right now. If the season ended today, we're going to Tampa. Washington's going to be at Niners. Giants going to be at Falcons. The team I want to avoid is the Niners. So the Eagles would get that bye if they end up winning out. If we could win out, we could get the bye if they were to stumble. That's a nice spot to be. What I hate for the Cowboys and what I hate for, being that wild card, it's going to be a 3-game pretty much. I don't see the Commanders or Giants, if this held true, doing anything in the playoffs. So that typically they would get bounced in the first round. So it would basically be the Cowboys on the road every game to get to the Super Bowl. Maybe that's what we want. And maybe that's, a good thing, but I would much rather like to be at home. I think we have one loss at home this year. And that was opening day to Tampa. It's better being on the road. I guess you're looking at Philly, you're looking at the 49ers, being that opportunity where we got to play outdoor. That could fit to our skill set because we like to run the ball. Vikings, we've got their number. So yeah, I mean, I understand it, but I'd rather be at home. So I'm hoping Philly stumbles. I just don't know if it's going to happen. And then again, you look at the AFC, and you got obviously the Bills holding that number 1 seed, and the Bengals, Titans, Dolphins, Ravens going at it, and the Jets and the Chiefs. It's wide open. I mean, this is what the NFL wanted. It's pretty wide open for the most part, especially with your top 5 seeds in the NFC, top probably 6 seeds in the AFC.
You know what? The NFC South. I wouldn't count the Bucks in quite yet. And again, I have my opinions, and I have I want the Falcons to get in, but Carolina, they're turning it on too. And there's a bunch of NFC South teams playing each other over the next few weeks. So we'll see what happens. Don't count the Buccaneers in yet.
Yeah. No, I think that the interesting team, believe it or not, is the Panthers. I think where the Falcons are in trouble is they're going to lose a lot of tiebreakers because their division record's bad. And that's where I think it's going to be, and that's where it's going to be it's going to be tough for them to catch the Bucs. I think the Panthers beat the Bucs, so if they split, there could be some divisional games to happen. But yeah, I love looking at the comments. Love Dak to get a win against Brady in the playoffs. I think maybe something like that really. We always talk about monkey on the back, and you got all this pressure for Dallas to go into Tampa. I mean, they're better than Tampa. Let's you've seen Tampa play. If Tampa ends up being the team, that would give them a lot of confidence to do that because they haven't beat Brady, and Brady's still Brady. Brady's still a guy I don't want to see in the playoffs, but we're not going to shy away from anyone either. So those are the kind of things that could happen, and that could be the story, and that could be what we talk about in with this season is having that adversity, because if they beat Tampa in the playoffs, let's say if they did, and we don't want to look too far ahead, but let's just we'll have some fun with it. Their next game is at Philly, because I don't see the other teams beating the other ones. So their next game, they would go at Tampa, at Philly, and if my money was on it, it'd be at San Francisco. That's pretty. You'd be battle tested if you win those three on the road.
Well, and Tom Brady, I don't know if you saw yesterday. I mean, he was losing his mind. He was throwing tantrums like a 2-year-old who didn't get the lollipop or the candy they wanted. I mean, I couldn't. He was going off on his own teammates, on the sidelines, on the field, going off on the refs. I mean, he's losing his mind, and he's a competitor, and I get it. But that was kind of a lot to throw out there in public for people to see. Some of that stuff you want to keep in the locker room.
Yeah. No, I agree. And that team is just, I live in Tampa, so I hear a lot about it. It's turning into just a tornado of problems and a lot of pressure, a lot of, stuff being said. So they are in a bad way, and they may not. I mean, they may not win the division. It may end up being Carolina. It may end up being Atlanta for all we know. I just, I think Brady, I think eventually, they may go in at 8-9 or 7-10 or whatever it is. But it's going to be, I think it's going to be them. I think we'll beat Philly, but I just don't know if Philly's going to stumble one of those times to help us out. And I get what everyone's saying, take it to the road. But, I'd rather play 3 games than 2. I like the idea of no week off. We've seen that before. And of course you want that. But I'm just thinking, okay, go at Tampa, go at Philly, go at San Francisco. Wow. That would be I don't know if they'd have anything left for the Super Bowl, but that'd be pretty damn impressive. That'd be pretty damn impressive.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the way the 49ers are playing, especially with this guy Brock Purdy, who he's just taken over. Let's see what happens with them. Yeah. Right? That's the team I'm looking at right now in the NFC.
Yeah.
And I know that I'm not sticking out for my man Camel Piper. He might be out there listening, but I'm sure he's happy right now.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know Cincy beats Tampa, which I think Cincy's going to beat them. Carolina beats Pittsburgh. Yeah. But look at the games left. I mean, Tampa's got, they play Carolina, I'm pretty sure, one more time. I think did they play Atlanta twice yet, or they got Atlanta one more time, Jimmy? The Bucs.
Tampa Bay, we have them the final game of the season.
Okay.
We have the Bucs the final game of the season.
Both of them. It's going to get settled right around in there. And all I'd say is, Doug, you're in the Carolinas. I expected you to hook your boy up with some tickets if we end up going to Carolina, because I'm going somewhere to watch the game. I don't know where it's going to be. I got Tampa covered. I just need to make sure I got one other one. So,
well, like I said, we'll see what happens. We'll see how it plays out. But it's like you said, they want a parity. They got it.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. We talk about this season is like 92, and everyone thought 49ers were the best team in NFC. We went to their house and beat them. No, I agree. I think this team has a lot of similarities, to those teams. I remember them well. I was, just getting out of high school, and everyone said we were 1 year away. People forget this team's young. Yeah, Dak's I guess he's a little bit of a veteran, and Zeke's a veteran, and they've got, Tank. This team has got a lot of young guys, and they fly around on the ball, and that's where you're going to get some of those games where you saw last week, but you're going to get those games like Minnesota where it's like, oh, my God, everything comes together, and they absolutely destroy them. So this team has definitely got the talent. They've got the coaching. I wish more would, it's a love-hate relationship I have with him. Sometimes I love what he's doing, and other times I want to throw my remote control at the TV and end up on one of those TikTok posts where they show the guy ripping the TV off the wall, hitting it with his shoe or something like that. I'm not going to go that far. But but they definitely got the talent. They've got the quarterback. Yeah, third youngest. They're right there, and they've built a lot through the draft, and it's paid dividends for them. Except for the booty pick, right? I know Jose will talk about, but for the most part, they've done very well. They've been very well, in their draft, and it's paid. It's been promising. We just got to finish strong, and that's what I've always preached. No matter what happens, the Cowboys are going to be fighting. I don't think they're going to have time to rest anyone. So it is going to be almost like a playoff game for them every week because they are fighting for that number one seed. And as long as they got in their mind that they got a shot, they're going to continue to do it. The fifth seed is pretty much going to be locked up. I mean, it would take some disaster to happen. I don't see it happening. Seattle's kind of fallen away. Giants are going to fall away. We'll see how Washington does, but for the most part, we're going to be that. We're either going to be the 1 or the 5.
And to the point with Dallas, I mean, you guys have what I would consider veteran leadership, and people have been there. I mean, you went to the NFC Championship last year with Dak on offense being your leader, with Parsons being your leader on defense. So you have guys who have been there. Your running back core. So I mean, you do have some veteran leadership already.
No, they do, but they don't have the playoff wins to go with that, and that's the problem. When you go in the playoffs, you got to win, and they haven't had that, and that's really where the pressure of this team is. That's why I say is if Dallas doesn't beat everyone by 20, then something's wrong. We got work to do. We got this, we got that. The Cowboys fans go crazy. I mean, you're going to have some dog fights. I mean, no one, maybe the Texans had a little bit more because it's in the state of Texas and, a little bit of pride. Maybe the Cowboys fans there, pride's a little hurt or something like that because we didn't blow them out. But, this is, yes, and I agree. This is the year we complete the mission. I'm feeling good about it. Feeling very good about it. And that's why I say maybe that Tampa game is something that puts them over the hope. They just need something. They need something that is going to, really take them to the next level. It could be the Philly game. It could be that Philly game. If they go in there and it's like the other games I've been to, like I said, I'll be there. And these eyes have never seen Dallas lose to Philly in person. And I ain't expecting to start on Christmas Eve to ruin my holidays. So we're going to handle that business. I got all the confidence in the world. But maybe that's the game where it's there and where it comes together. They put it all together again. They win a game that a lot of people are going to say that we're not going to win. I'll be interested to see. I've talked to Uncle Cheech what he thinks the line's going to be. I'll be interested to see what the line is on that game. I think it'll be very tight. I think it'll either be, a pick 'em, or we might be favored by 1 or 2, but that pretty much means you're an underdog on a neutral site. And that's what I want to see. And yes, I said Jason Garrett wouldn't have won that game yesterday. And I'm sick of, people dogging McCarthy. I'll continue to say, man, back-to-back 10-plus wins. I mean, of course, we got to get some playoff success to go with it, but let's see what happens this year. And I'm feeling pretty good. I know people are upset. I got the lucky cup. I might smuggle this into Jacksonville just to make sure there isn't anything weird going on.
It's funny. I was joking with my wife yesterday because we were watching the game. It was coming down to the wire, and I said, "Man, if the Cowboys lose, it's gonna be like a funeral." I said, "Even if they win, it's gonna be like a wake." But I got news for you. You guys are reacting pretty well to that close call yesterday.
Yeah,
coming out.
And like Steven, I said earlier, it's just the media. Like I said, Hurts goes down on that game-winning drive against Indy. They should have lost that game. Came back and won. Yeah. And it was just, oh my God, look at Hurts is just taking his team on his back and the next level and this and that. I mean, Dak, for as bad as you could say he played Sunday, and he admitted he didn't play his best game, he drove the team 98 yards down the field to lead them on that game-winning drive. That's pretty damn impressive. So the media is going to do what the media does. They're always going to talk about the Cowboys in a negative way because that gets reaction, and that's all about how they get paid. I mean, we all know that. We all understand it. That's why I steer myself away. My regimen is I listen to 105.3 in the morning. I listen to some podcasts, when I'm home, and the Cowboys ones, and that's pretty much. I stay away from ESPN and some of these other guys. Sunday, I like the NFL Network because I like Michael Irvin. I like all those guys on there, like, Coach Mariucci. So I watch that. Then I watch a little bit with Jimmy Johnson with Fox sometimes too.
Well, and that's why we're your lead into Monday Night Football. You don't got to watch those guys. You watch us. We have fun. We love the interaction. And never mind those talking heads.
Oh, absolutely. And 10-3 that don't sound bad. That sounds damn good to me. And especially
I would take it.
With our, without our backup, we had a backup quarterback for like, Jose said, 5 of those games, win 4. I mean, that don't happen. That don't happen with Jason Garrett. I don't want to keep preaching that, but I mean, McCarthy needs to start getting some damn credit that he deserves. And is Elmer Fudd's love child. I like them guys, man. I do. I like that show. I do listen to it. So more importantly, let's take a little step back. We gotta bring in the man. You're in Vegas. I don't know. Maybe Uncle Cheech is in Vegas. I know he had some big games last week. He had that upset and lock. I think he hit it. We got to confirm it. I don't know if you guys are taking the man's advice. And like he said, the lock. Lock is the one you want to go with. Upset is a little bonus. You don't want to get too crazy, but you want to see it. So he's going to work on that Monday night game tonight. He's got the Bengals and the Bucks, the 49ers and the Seahawks, the Chiefs and the Texans, the Dolphins and the Bills. We're talking about big games. And some people say, hey, Mike, what the hell's going on here? This is Tag Nation. Uncle Cheech, I need his understanding. I need to know what's going on with the Cowboys. He's been barred from picking any Cowboys games because I don't want to jinx. And I don't want, if he picks the wrong game, then he'll be off. So he had that situational hiccup with Green Bay. So we had to get that. Yeah. Uncle Cheech, he might be pole dancing in Vegas. We're gonna find out.
You put a cease.
What's going on with Uncle Cheech?
You put a cease and desist order on him.
Let's see where he's at. What's going on, Uncle Cheech?
I don't know much. I hear you guys talking about, before I get started on my picks, about the Cowboys game.
Yes.
Let's remember, you got to remember, they're all professionals. Professionals. Any team can win any given day. That's why you don't give 16 points. Any team can win anytime. I'm going to tell you a little story real quick. I used to be big into going to all the boxing matches. A friend of mine, Salvador, calls me from Philly. Today I got a piece of a boy up here, young welterweight. He's undefeated, 20-0. So I know you like boxing. He says, come on up. I said, all right, I get a plane. I go, she goes out to Spectrum. It's going to be that what it's called, the Spectrum up there. It's going to be on ESPN. He's an up-and-comer, 20-0. He told me who was fighting. I forgot. So I checked up on the guy. The guy was like 5-10, 5-15, something. But the 5 wins he had were 5 first-round knockouts. I go there. We've got the ringside seats. They got his boy starts coming to the ring. They got the James Brown music playing full blast. The guy's dancing all over the place. Got the sparkly cape going and all this bull. Climbed into the ring. 30 seconds later, he was on his back looking up at the lights. I said, hey, Sally. I said, what happened here? I said, get into your research. He's a professional. Might not be able to go past 2 rounds, but he had that one punch capability. That was the last time I think I've ever heard of the guy again. That was the end of that. We're not saying all professionals. You're going to have bad teams play good once in a while, and that just happens.
No.
It's not high school or collegiate. It's professional.
Professional. No, but that's to your point. Is anything can happen on any Sunday, and that's why you guys got to be careful with these picks. You got to be careful gambling. Uncle Cheech, this man's a professional. He's been doing this Vegas insider, tips and handicapping for all these years. It's not that's why I don't mess with it. I don't have enough research. More importantly, I don't have enough connections, and I've been watching. Tulsa King, so I've seen what some of you guys do, and I don't want no part of it.
I watched every episode.
Uncle Cheech, I've been in Vegas for the last 5 days. I'm trying to find you. I'm asking, where can I find Uncle Cheech? I'm on the down low. They're leading me all different directions. You know, would you keep me off the beaten path here?
I'm not
What's going on?
today. I wasn't there this week. I used to be there a lot when I used to go to all fights. Mike Tyson, Larry Holmes, all the big fights. Hagler.
Hagler was my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyhow, let me go. I'm going to
Let's see what you got. Let's see these
my
picks.
losses here. I had Baltimore at Pitt.
Yeah.
Pitt -3. As soon as the quarterback, Kenny Pickett, went down and they put in Mitch, the turnover machine, Trubisky in, I knew I was dead at that one.
Yeah.
We got a turnover machine. I watched it twice and they're territory picked.
Yeah, they're good.
Then I had Miami -3 against San Diego. You saw what happened there. And I agree with you, Jimmy. I don't know what the hell's wrong with them. But Tua looked terrible last two games. And they'll be at one of my picks for the week.
Yeah.
My upset, the Jets, Buffalo. I had the Jets and 9. Buffalo won by 8.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice.
And my lock, Philadelphia, -6.5 over the Giants. No contest there. They look great, like you said. You guys got a big mountain to climb when they come down there, Chris Brazil. I'm not going to give you my pick on that yet. I'm not going to give it to you at all because I know
you ain't gonna. You can give it to me privately, but I just can't be on the airwaves.
But anyhow, tonight, Monday I don't study too hard. The Monday night game, I got. I'm going to take Arizona over New England. They're the home team. Arizona -2. I mean, Arizona's +2. I'm sorry.
+2.
+2. Cincinnati -3.5 at Tampa Bay. Cincinnati's been playing real good ball.
Yeah,
I mean,
they
like you
have.
said,
They're getting hot at the right time, like they did last year.
The AFC's pretty much wide open.
Yeah.
A lot of teams. I'm going to take San Francisco over Seattle. San Francisco -3.5 at Seattle. I don't know where that kid came from, but their defense is always going to keep them in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they're going to miss Dabo or Babbo.
Debo.
Debo.
But you don't turn the ball over. The defense speaks for itself. I mean, they just completely annihilated them.
No, they did, man. They did.
And I agree with you. I was watching Brady's face. It was too much for him to bear.
It made him look like
you getting roughed up real good. Couldn't complete the pass. They were sold.
Yeah.
My upset's going to be Kansas City at Houston plus 14.
Wow.
14.
Man.
That is a lot of points to give to a professional game. I mean, Dallas, I think they were 14 or whatever.
What I said, I made money on that game, on that Dallas game.
Yeah. There's no way.
16 points they were.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I told you about one-punch knockout ability, same thing. But I'll take the 14 points.
Yeah.
They got a little confidence now since they played Dallas tough. They're at home. And I think it's a pretty safe bet.
Yeah. And when you play teams like that, you saw they got nothing to lose. They're rotating quarterbacks in. They're running RPOs with one quarterback, bringing the other one. They're going for it on fourth. They're doing that. And like I think you said it last week, in professional sports, they're not going to run it up. If it happens, it happens. But they're not going to do what college does and just just pile on the points.
Exactly.
So that's where when you're given 14 plus points in a professional game, that's a lot to give up.
Especially when they got a lock on the playoffs. If they get a safe enough lead, they might start pulling some of their guys.
Yeah. Yep.
Hey,
that's the thing.
true.
Start pulling their guys out. That's why you take them big. If they give them big spreads, take a shot. What do you got to lose?
Yeah.
Except a few dollars.
Hey, Uncle Cheech, I just got to respond to a comment. Steve said, I'm losing my ass here in Vegas this week because I couldn't find you. As you can see over my left shoulder here, we're way up top, high up top the Bellagio at Caesar's Palace in the background, having a good time. But after the last few days, I'm going to end up in the basement tomorrow. So you and I gotta, have a little private conversation off the air.
And that bill's going to be due.
Stay away from the slot machine. You hear me? Stay away from the slot machine.
I'll hit up the trotters. I'll hit up some trotters tonight.
Yeah. Play blackjack. That's your best chance.
Yeah.
And don't drink too much.
I tell you what I played
is you take chances you normally wouldn't take when you drink too much.
I do 3-card poker. I play 3-card poker. I don't know if you played that, but that's.
All right, I told you I was going to include Miami. You one of my picks?
Yeah.
That's my lock of the week. I'll take Buffalo -7. Miami's traveling from the West Coast back to Buffalo in the freezing cold. I think it was snowing up there the other day. They've been playing terrible, too. I think what he complete 2 passes in the first half, something like that. It was horrendous. At 10 yards, I don't know.
Oh.
But they might fall out of this. They got a tough schedule ahead of them.
Yeah.
They got Green Bay, and then they got a couple road games, a couple more road games. And like I told you, they give up 30 on the road. Vinny Smaldone, he had it down pat, up to 30 on the road. So I'm going to take Buffalo. I think much too much. Too much
for them. And Miami always gets they always get slapped around. My man Jose tell you, I drink wine coolers. I drank wine coolers when I was in high school.
Hey Jimmy, you know what I had today? I had made myself a nice big bowl bacala salad.
Oh yeah.
You know what? We're off to Italian for dinner tonight in a little bit.
The chicks won't come near me now. I got the back of our breasts, but.
Oh man. Well, we appreciate another great week of picks. You know, you're doing good. We got to get a tally number before the end of the year. We got to see where you ended up. Make sure you're at plus 55%.
Well, I'm in the neighborhood, but like I said, my locks are good. Play the one team, play the lock, and you're making money.
That's what we need. That's what we need. So
they try to lure you. Now, you figure if you try to parlay one of these games, where would you be? You figured everybody on the show last night, they all picked Miami big. If you watch the game, they picked them big.
Yeah.
No chance. Not gonna be able to stop that offense. Their defense had all the backups in, and they were smashed them back there.
Yeah. Just never know.
That's why if you would have took, let's say, Buffalo and then try to parlay in with Miami and San Diego, you're done.
Yeah.
But Buffalo, you would have brought in all the dinero.
All the day to be out by the pool with the ladies. So. All right,
guys.
We'll see you next week.
Grazie.
All right. Take care. Oh, we got Uncle Cheech getting a little crazy there, Jimmy D.
Yes. I don't know. I might have to have the bacala salad tonight. We're going out to eat in a little bit.
Yeah, man. Definitely do that. Let me see if there's anything else I missed. What else do we? Obviously, we got T.Y. Hilton. We talked about that. We got the slow starts. Hey, I had to take my notes. And again, looking at the Eagles. Here's their schedule. They got at the Bears, at Dallas, Saints at home, and Giants at home. I just don't know if I see 2 losses in there, and I just I see one. No. I see one on Dallas, but I don't know if I see another one.
No, I don't. And it sucks, but what are you gonna do?
You gotta. The team's gonna have to fight. Yeah. They're gonna have to continue, and I think again that pays dividends. Last year they coasted because the division sucked, and they came out flat in that playoff game, and they just didn't have that eye of the tiger. So I think that this will be the best thing that happened to them. Is Philly's going to be doing them a favor. I think it's a game. Football is a game of matchups. I think we just match up pretty well against Philly. I think we got the speed to contain that running game and that RPO. The key is we got to be disciplined, and as long as they can stay disciplined to to their assignments, I think we've got no issues. Obviously there's some concern on our cornerback. We didn't really get into it with Kelvin Joseph. Bland. They're having to step up. Lost Brown, lost Jay Lou. So I mean, really, you're looking at your 1, your 4, and your 5 cornerback. But they held their own. Houston wasn't much. This will be a better test to see how those guys stack up. My son's very confident in Kelvin Joseph. He tells me don't worry about it. Bland's been proven to be pretty good. So we'll see. I think these games are going to help prepare them for when they get in the playoffs. But this team didn't get a lot of pressure last week. That was or yesterday. That was disappointing. But I think I'm curious to see how this team responds come Sunday. I'm expecting to see them play pretty hard.
And it gets back to what we've talked about. Going down the stretch, if you got everything locked up, you get complacent, like you said, you lose the eye of the tiger, the edge, And so I think you're right. You want to go in where it is kind of not necessarily a dogfight, but where you have some fight, you have some skin in the game. You got to win, right? Then you go into the playoffs on that high and you keep it rolling.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Absolutely. That's why I think it's the best. And that's to I think as Steven had said, you don't want that bye. Sometimes those teams, they take that week off, you lose a little bit of that juice. I mean, we've seen that, in some of our playoff losses, post 95, post 96. I'll take that 6 in there. But it's that's what you want your guys playing. I just wish we got at least one home game in the mix, but I just, we don't, you hope that you have some wild card teams behind you that can pull an upset, pull a surprise. I just don't see it with what's behind, that 6th and 7th seed. I just don't see much behind there. So I think I think it's just going to be the division winners are all going to win their game. And so that'll just happen. Obviously, I think we'll beat Tampa. And then after that, we'll go to Philly. If everything shakes out right. So it's like I said, this Christmas Eve game, I don't believe is gonna be the last time we see him. So we're gonna see him again. So whatever happens, if we when we beat him, we can't be overconfident. But if something happens and we don't win, we can't put our head in the sand either. We're gonna get one more crack at them, or they're gonna get one more crack at us.
And you know what? On a side note, I know we're NFC guys, and everybody's always ripping on my NFC South, and rightfully so. I mean, it's not a good division this year. But what about the AFC South? Right? 3 of the 4 teams are under 500, and Tennessee's 7-5. So it's time we start ripping on the AFC South a little bit.
No, I agree. But there hadn't been much. With Brady, there hasn't been as much hate on the NFC South as there was on the NFC East last year. I mean, it was an everyday occurrence when they talked about that. So, they're kind of quiet, but it's Brady. So it's like I said before, when Brady was with New England, AFC East was terrible, but they never brought that up. And then when Dallas, they get in the playoffs last season, they win the division easily. It's their division sucks. So it is, that just goes with the territory again of being a Cowboys fan. You gotta have a lot of hate. Gonna be a lot of hate. So
and all I see again, Brady yesterday, ooh, crying and carrying on. Did you hear the rumor mill today? Something about him going to the Saints next season?
Yeah, I can't see that.
Neither do I.
No.
I saw it in three different online publications. I saw it, and I don't believe it's going to happen. I think the man should retire. Should have retired last year. Look what he's doing now.
Yeah, I don't see that. If there was any team that I could have seen him going to was San Francisco, only because that was his favorite team growing up. He's a California kid. He may do that, but I don't see why San Francisco would do that. But let's check out these chats. We got a lot of comments going through. So let's see. Ferguson needs to be on. I know him getting out with that concussion, that sucked. I'm hoping he is. He's going to be there come Sunday. Definitely need him. And let's just run through. I'm trying to true legend. And I saw this one. And Jose's been on point today. I got to say, for the most part, Jose has been on point. Love Jose. True legend.
That's what you feel
in the playoffs, and I agree. I just think it's a matter. I think he's ready for that moment. He looked a little disinterested or unhappy. Something he just didn't look himself on Sunday. Just from again, you're only watching from the TV, and when they show him, he just. I hope he's all right. But he just definitely. I don't know. He didn't look like his normal self that I saw yesterday. We'll beat Tampa, and our confidence will go through the roof. Definitely mentioned that. Build momentum that carries the rest of the way. Yep, that's something I said. I think nothing could be better than going to Tampa, playing them, playing Brady, beating the Bucks. I think that is something that could springboard this team, uh,
You guys
to,
are killing me.
another level just because of the mindset. It's the mindset. I think this team has a talent, but I still think there's something about the confidence. I just, you saw it with the Rodgers game. You saw it with the Tampa game, the first game of the season. It just, I don't know. It's just there's a little bit of something, either doubt creeps in or something like that. But there's something there. There's something there.
You guys are killing me because you're handing this to the Buccaneers on a silver platter. It ain't over. There's still some time left.
I know. I'm a realist at time, and I just look at the Buccaneers are more talented. I think that eventually they'll get it. But hey, I hope Atlanta. I hope Carolina. I wish him well. I know Jose. He got breaking news. It looks like Tolbert. He's been booty, so they cut him, and they're going to sign Uncle Cheech. I don't know about you. I don't know if we want Cowboy fans. I don't think we want Uncle Cheech running any routes or being out there. It might be the end of Uncle Cheech on one play. Might be going like Blue will be. Someone's gonna be singing at his funeral. I don't know. It ain't gonna be
me. Eddie Cheech will be like Eddie Mush to the Cowboys. You don't want no part of that.
Let's see. Dak knocking Brady off of the playoffs will go down in history. I think mentally it will. I know, Jimmy, you don't want to hear it, but we want to get that. I mean, we haven't beat Brady in his career. I mean, that's just like, kills you. We've beaten Rodgers. I mean, we have beaten Rodgers. I mean, it has been a while, but at least we can say we've beaten Rodgers. We have not been able to beat Brady. And that would be something that would definitely, to your point, I think the mental thing of this team, it could be the Philly game. It could be the playoff game against, if they play Brady or whoever they play with their first game. There's something that is just this team. It's all mental, and it's physically we got it. There's no doubt about it. Talent-wise, this team is there. There's a mental block that they got to get over, and that could be the one to what Steve's saying, what I've said, what a lot of people in the chat have said. There's something there that we gotta make it happen. So if we played Atlanta in the first round, yeah, no, that's true. It would be like a round bye. That's the only good part about it. It'd be like a preseason game, playing the Falcons or the Panthers. It'd be a little tune-up.
Steve, yesterday was, making me feel much better on YouTube comments. Now it's making me feel like crap again. Come on, Steve. You had me all happy yesterday. The Desmond Ritter era starts this Sunday.
And we've got, Ritter. So maybe he's a spark. Now, Jose's been on points. I need those. Just true. Aaron Judge is the Amari Cooper of baseball players. They'll never win with players like Judge. Do you agree?
I certainly didn't like the Cashman re-signing him as the GM, but that Judge deal, we needed him. And I disagree with you, Jose. I think he could take us.
Yeah.
To the promised land.
I saw a comment. I'm trying to get it because we did ask that question, and Ronnie confirmed it. Back-to-back double-digit wins since '96. So, yeah, since the Super Bowl, that's a long way to go. That's been many years. So, I mean, McCarthy's got to start getting a little bit of credit for what, his part in getting this team. Obviously, Will McClay gets his credit. You got to give some to Jerry. I mean, we may not want to, but we got to get a little bit. You got to give the man his due as far as the talent is there. We get over that mental hump of this playoff, and maybe Brady will be that, and he'll be that one for us. So we'll definitely see. And we got Jose. Cowboys will serve the Dirty Birds to the Falcons.
Hey, Jose, look, I just hope we get in. So, I hope we're talking some smack in a month from now. That's what I'm hoping for. Right now I don't have much to say.
It would get real, as the icon once said, it could get real ugly.
Hey, it'll be fun on the show, though. It'll make for good show.
Obviously make good radio. We have a lot of fun. Tickets won't be too bad. I can tell you, I had to get Tampa tickets. I was looking at 200 level. I said, 200 level, let's check it out. And now understand, this is extra tickets that as a season ticket holder, you have the option. They let you buy up 2 extra tickets for every ticket you have. The damn tickets were almost $900 each. So I was like, well, that ain't happening. So I found some seats in the 300 level. and they were close, you know, aisle seats, close to you know, that you have an aisleway, no one in front of you, and they were like 400. So that was a little bit more reasonable, But and I didn't. The beauty of it, you know, if you did them through that, you don't have to pay the fees. The StubHubs are, you know, our local scalpers, and the high prices and all the additions they add. So it was worth a shot. If the Tampa can't handle their business and win the division, then we'll go to Carolina. I get my money back. If we somehow get to the playoffs, then I got to figure out how to get rid of them, and if we're the number one seed, and that Philly would go there. So, you know, Philly, they're too cheap to get on a plane. So I doubt they're going to do that.
Oh.
So I find some local fans to sell them to.
Well, Mike, so. I have a hot date and reservations for a restaurant coming up here short.
We had a hard stop, so we are going to roll out. We appreciate it. Your boy is going to be on Thursday. I didn't do it last week. I've been so busy with work. A lot of stuff going on, end of year stuff, but we will be back. I'll be on Thursday night. I'm going to try and see if I can line up a guest. You know, we had a Colts fan on last night. We'll see if maybe I get a Cowboy guy to give a little juice in here to get some mojo. I hate too many Jaguar fans I can call. So we'll definitely be back on Thursday, and then we'll be back around. Of course, you'll see the hype video. I gotta get these guys' minds right. So we're gonna make it happen. But my man Jimmy's got some high stakes that he's got to do. He's got a table reserved. Good time, safe travel, Steve said. I appreciate it.
Steve.
We will see you guys. I'll leave you with a little fun video. What is it? Eagles week, maybe or not Eagles game coming up. I'll throw an old Eagle throwback in there. I'm trying to find, it's hard to see. But we'll see you Thursday, or we'll see you next Monday live here. Same time, same channel. Peace out.
And Dak Prescott, being the gentleman that he was, picked him up off that 50-yard line and said, why did you just pack it up? And you stare into my face, now can you dig it?